Hi folks, welcome to the first match in this Pauper League. We're on the draw our opponent kept. We will keep, and we're going to get started here. This is Dimir teachings with a heavy focus on Evenkar's Justice and Curse of the Bloody Tome as a win condition. Looks like we're playing against some type of Affinity or Kuldotha deck. So it could be Boros or Jeskai, but it's looking like Affinity right now. So we'll see as his turn 2 kind of progresses what he's up to. Looks like he missed a land drop, so he's a ways away from doing anything. We're just going to leave up Counterspell and Accumulated Knowledge here. The Evenkar's Justice is not typically amazing against them, but it kind of depends on their build. Now, Flare Husk, I'm going to let resolve against my better judgment, but I'm not too concerned with getting hit with a 1-1. That looks like that's his only play. So we're kind of okay for now. I'd like to hit some more lands, some removal spells. There's a land. So here we can preordain. We don't need lands beyond 5, really. Chainer's Edict is okay. I think we'll bottom and top. We don't need the land, even though that's a cycling land. Not exactly what we're looking for. So we're going to need to probably counter the next threat. And then we'll see what we want to do. We might just teachings for a removal spell after that. As per usual, we let them get all the card draw they want. We're really just trying to deal with their creature threats on the board. So I'm going to end up killing this guy, it looks like. And going from there, I could use the Evenkar's Justice, but that would tap me out. So we got our second Dispel. Not the best, but I have a feeling later on in the game has a chance of coming in handy here. So he's got 3 cards. We have to narrow probably 1 or so down to a Galvanic Blast type effect. Here comes Forger. We're just going to counter it. Looks like he might have a second one here. So we'll have to teachings up and answer. He's got a number of stars, so he could just start breaking them until he finds a Tog or something. That's also a possibility. And, he's got enough artifacts on the table for a Tog to really be an issue. If he starts going off with Frogmites, I am probably going to end up just casting Justice. He cracked them all, so that leads me to think he doesn't have an Atog. He actually didn't play anything. So no Frogmites, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No Enforcers either. That's very peculiar. Something's got to be coming down next turn. He has 5 cards in hand. He's got to have something going on. He's got a lot of lands. There's an Ichor Wellspring, which will resolve. We'll just tutor up whatever answer it is we need for his guy. Wow, he's really got nothing. He's got to have a Perilous Research. I'm definitely willing to use at least a Dispel to get his Perilous Research. But for now, we'll just get counter spells and do our typical teachings chain. We're in a very strong position right now because he just has no board. We have 6 mana in play, so if he does nothing again... Glasses of Urza. Yeah, I'll let that resolve. That's kind of interesting. He's going to look at my hand. I don't know if I've played against this card ever. That's a very novel, unorthodox inclusion. Especially game 1. This card costs you a card. Okay, so he's going with teaching. We're going to let that resolve because we can find an answer. I'm really trying to keep a Tog off the table because it looks like he could just one-hit KO us with a fling. So he knows about the teaching, so oh, something else is coming down. It's kind of dangerous. Oh, he's going to equip. That's fine. I'm just going to go out of the graveyard. It might be more mana efficient to teachings from our hand, actually. I'll just go ahead and get an Edict here. We have a deprive as well. So I can hold off till his turn, I guess. Since he kind of knows what we're going to be doing. He's just going to look at my hand first before he does anything. Or not. Okay, I'll just edict this. He has 4 cards in hand. So we're just going to counter this since we have a second counter spell as well. We're getting to the point where Crypt Incursion will be pretty chunky here. He chose not to look at my hand. If you're going to play this in your deck, you should just use it. Use it early and often. So he's going for a Tog, which I'm of course going to counter. I'm not sure why you wouldn't look at my hand when you have the option to, but no matter. Okay, so we're just going to leave up the 6 mana because I want to be able to Teachings for an answer. And we might end up just casting AK and then casting Teachings. Yeah, he's out of gas. He's very flooded, so we'll see what AK gets us. Bunch of removal, so I'm going to get a counter spell, of course. And we'll just pass here. Next we'll cast Teachings for Teachings. We'll cast that Teachings for counterspell. Flash it back for another Teachings. Rinse, wash, repeat. This is the great thing about Mystical Teachings is that, especially when the opponents have nothing to do, it just constantly gives us action. It's just repeatable fuel. It fuels us, it gets back other things. So I'm going to have to discard if I play this, which I guess is actually okay. I mean, the Evankar's Justice is a potential win con, but I could also just pitch the land. Maybe I'll just do that. Or not. I think I'll actually pitch the Evankar's Justice. So that's one of our win conditions down the toilet, but I think we'll be okay here. Yep, that resolves for sure. Never be afraid of the enemy's card draw because we just have superior numbers when it comes to that. So okay, we're getting another counter spell. I don't know why he's not looking at our hand, but I'm not going to concern myself with it. Okay, that's the last one. So now we're going to have to cast Teachings for Teachings, and then we're going to probably get an AK or a removal spell or something. And we basically need to find a way to win the game. Which we had, but with no pristine talismans in play, it wouldn't have mattered because we're both dying. Okay, actually we're out of gas, so the option is really we're out of things to get with teaching. So the option is, do I want to just draw with an AK or get a Crypt Incursion? We're so far ahead, I don't really think we need to. I mean, we're going to have to discard a ton of cards here, but so be it. Let's just find our win con. Preordain. Yeah. Yeah, I guess this is fine. I'm going to play an island. Don't really want another Muldrifter. I want talismans and stuff like that. I have 11 cards. So I actually want to leave up Counterspell and Dispel. So I'm going to end up pitching about 4 cards here. It's going to be a Dispel, a Disfigure, a Compulsive Research, and a land. Okay, that's fine. Maybe he'll just concede now. Glasses of Urza seems to be just a tool to help you make early concessions. Okay, land, dispel, disfigure, compulsive research. That might not be the best assortment, but I really don't see us losing at this point. He's probably going to even just kill the Mole Drifter. That guy's fine. Yeah, I'm going to end up just putting a dead weight on that. The only way we lose is if I let him slip through an Atog and a Fling, so. I can just sit back with my Mole Drifter here. We have to keep an eye on our card count, but shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, there's one of our talismans. Very good to see. Even just one talisman should keep us going. I don't think we need the other edict. We already have one in hand. I think we just need a curse or whatever. So, let's see. How much mana am I working with? Not really enough. So I think I'll just throw the dead weight on and sit back. This game is going to drag out. There's just not as many ways for us to win. I need to start setting auto yields to his glasses. Dark Steel Citadel. Okay, he didn't even put the Flare Husk on. She easily could have. I'll take the block. Mole Drifter's done his job. Time is also going to be a factor, so yeah, we'll just go like this. Keep in mind that we have the Chainer's Edict in the graveyard. Had I held on to that Everenkar's Justice, I would be able to start shocking away his life total, but we have a second one, and yeah, we'll just start using it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Still going to leave up double counterspell and dispel. So it's about that time, as you can see. And we're gaining a life. So we're only taking 1 and he's taking 2. And we're already ahead by 4 lives. So we should be okay here. We actually haven't seen any Frogmites from him, which is kind of interesting. Auto yield. We're closer in terms of the clock than I thought we would be. But I don't think he's going to make it through. I don't think he's going to... We'll see. He's possibly trying to bait out so he can fling us or something, but it's just not going to fly. It's not going to happen. Fighting through 3 counters and just magically drawing the right amount of stuff you need is just not... I don't think it's very likely. Trying to get faster at this. I think he's falling further behind on time now. Yeah, I'll take the Galv Blast to the face. That's fine. I'll take a second one. So that's going to slow down his ability to, our ability to beat him. We have plenty of time to curse him out of the game, because curse basically takes 3 cards away from his deck. So I'm not going to justice this turn. I'll wait a turn so that my life total goes above his. That's not even necessarily something we have to do, but we also know that we only need 7 turns to be able to justice him out of the game. He doesn't have any life gain, so think he's actually trying to mill us out or something. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, so let's just cast this now. I'm actually just going to gain another life from the dismal backwater here, just to have something to do. And it could end up being relevant. Yep, that's fine. Oops. Trying to hit F4 here. Okay, here comes something. Galvblast to the face. Sure. He's really just trying to keep me off of being able to beat him, but even if I draw, all I need is basically to draw Curse within the next... Oh no, you guys do the math for me. He's got 22 cards, so oops. Dang it. I wanted to auto yield that. So, like I said, we deplete 3 cards from his deck every turn with Curse. 2 from the Curse and 1 that he draws. So right now, we only need 7 cards in our library to really make this work. I think I just want to counter that, but yeah, I do. It's going to be so big for the Tragic Slip. He might actually just burn a lot of our time. That's fine too. We're going to do this little 1-2 punch. A third creature's even fine. But that seems like that's all he's got. Yeah, we'll just disfigure and Tragic Slip. The Justice would do basically the same thing. I'm not convinced. Yeah, we probably are actually casting Justice next turn, but we'll do it this way. Yeah, this guy's screwed. He's already used up 3 Galvblasts. We still have our Dispel. I mean, he is draining some of our resources, but it actually doesn't matter so much. If this is Research, I think I might Dispel it. Fling is actually okay too. We're gaining all this life back, so he's just trying to delay the inevitable, basically. So he doesn't know about the Dismal Backwater. So I guess I'll play it. I guess he's going to look at my hand anyway, but yeah, that actually didn't make any sense. I played the Backwater before the Fountain last time, and this time I decided to play the Fountain, even though he's going to get access to our hand. So, yep, definitely resolves. Again, we only need 8 cards in our library right now to be able to curse him out. So, that's one thing. We also only need 6 cards in our library to justice him out. So I don't think he's actually going to be able to win any way you slice it. So, I mean, and he's even draining his own clock. So this is just a matter, I know it's a slow grind or whatever, but it's really just the way it goes. We're just going to have to get used to it because, I mean, all these matches are going to be like this. That can definitely resolve. Okay, so we're going to Chainer's Edict him. It might even be better just to Doomblade that. And things are going to get real nasty in just a second here. Because we're going to start justicing every turn. And that'll be game. He's going to fling again, I guess. No. 1, 2, 3. So now we can just start pairing the talismans, the fountain, and the aqueducts. And we might even be able to start doing it twice. Don't think I need to preordain. I think I just need to put him away at this point. That's 7. Yeah, we can do it. We can do it again. Black. Yeah, so he's really not going to get out of this. I don't need to preordain. I could, but I'm just going to try and finish the game faster. And even 4/4s now will just fall to this. So we really don't need to counter that much. Yeah, he's got 2 more turns. So that's pretty awesome. Don't need to cast that. It just gives him more information because he gets to look at our hand, right? So we'll be quickly going to game 2. We've got our win condition locked into place. He does concede. So we saw a huge percentage of his deck. Right? I mean, he did withhold a few things. He's definitely got Frogmites. He just hasn't seen a lot of them. This is pretty traditional. He does have 1 Flare Husk, 1 Glasses of Urza, 2 Ichor Wellspring, 3, probably 4 Prophetic Prism, probably 4 Drums. We probably missed some threats. I mean, basically Frogmites. Okay. Good to know. So, I want to bring in Angler as a trump to his 4/4s. I also want to bring in these removal spells and certainly the Hydro Blasts. So that means we can cut things like Disfigure. And then some of the removal. I don't actually think we need Crypt Incursion. I think I am going to leave in... I'm not sure if we want to go all in on one of these win cons or what. We can probably cut the Curse Plan and leave this in. And then have these to fall back on. We also want to cut at least 1 Dispel. You don't need 2. Even saw that game. We never even used the 1 that we kept. We drew 2 of them. And then ended up not using either. It's possible we can cut 1 copy of Teachings. And so let's get in the stuff we want. We want the Vendetta and the extra Edict effect. His biggest threats are his big creatures. So we have those. You know, the extra Teachings does let us get to those answers, so I think that's pretty good. And I suppose we could just leave in the 4 counter spells at that point. Crypt Incursion might be something we're interested in. Just gets us out of range of a lot of dangerous stuff. So is 3 counter spells enough? I guess on the draw probably is. Maybe Dispel should go, but we want to know, we want to find out how many... Yeah, maybe we do cut the Teachings. We want to find out how many Pyroblasts and Dispels of his own he's actually running with. Losing Disfigure is maybe an issue, maybe not. Let's actually find out. I'm curious to see. He joined the game. He's way behind on clock now. Over almost 3 minutes, rather. And we have a keepable hand, so we'll hold on to it. Hopefully his start is as slow as it was last time. And it seems it is. No turn 1 play. We have a bunch of 2-mana stuff. It's looking... Oh, okay. I thought he was just going to turn to a Tog, but... So anything we can Doomblade... That's a great draw, by the way. Anything we can Doomblade here, we'll let resolve. Probably counter the next thing. Yeah, I think we actually just counter this. We don't want to fall too behind on our mana. He's clearly going to do something crazy in a second, but yeah, that's actually not too bad. He's going to Thought Cast. Hopefully no more Frogmites. Ugh, gross. So we kind of need to draw Evankar's Justice now. These are the kind of draws that get us. Maybe cutting Disfigures all the way was not correct, but we're going to see 3 more cards pretty soon, so we should be able to buy some time in order to do that. Something else is coming. Yeah, another Atog. Yeah, this is a pretty strong draw for him. And do we have an answer? No. So my options are to play Talisman and AK, or to play Research and hope I find a Hydroblast or Vendetta. And I think that's a slightly better option. You see more cards immediately. A Deadweight, even better. So we have to pitch the island if we're going to pitch a land. Okay, so we are taking hits, but we've done ourselves, you know, a pretty good service in terms of not falling too far behind here. Yeah, it's great having a lot of 1-mana answers for Atog. It looks like some enforcers are going to come down soon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, he could play all of the ones he has if he has any. So we're going to have to preordain. Probably try and find Evankar's Justice. He just let the mana erode. I'm also okay with playing Muldrifter, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. So let's preordain first. There is the Evankar's Justice. So we'll definitely put that on top. So now do we want a Talisman? Or do we want a AK? I guess we want a Talisman. And I'll bring back up the island, I guess. So we don't fall too far behind in terms of tempo. I mean, we are pretty behind, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to be able to cast it with buyback. So if he doesn't play a critical threat next turn, I mean, the best thing that could happen for us is him to play another Frogmite. He's also dwindling on the clock as well. So I'm going to take a sip of tea and just shut up for a second. Looks like our opponent is disconnected, so we're going to have to sit tight and see what ends up panning out here. I mean, this could be the end of the match. If he came back, so we'll see what's going to happen. We're obviously passing the turn with the mana that's going to just dissipate from our mana pool. There we go. So let's see what he does. His next turn is going to be pretty important. We actually don't even need to buy back the Justice. We can... It really depends on what we draw. But we just have to deal with these threats right now. I mean, we do have the Muldrifter we can play, which might be our best option, actually. It really just depends what he does. He seems a little choked on mana. He's counting, figuring out what he can do. That looks like that's his whole turn. So he might be sitting on Pyroblast. 2, 3, 4. I mean, we don't really have much else to do with our mana, so I actually think I am going to cast this with buyback. Maybe not. Maybe I need to try and AK into something. So I'm actually going to draw first. I should have drawn before. Okay, that's a good draw. The reason we're doing this is we might be in burn range. We're obviously in double Galv Blast range, but I can't keep taking hits from Frogmites. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. We're going to just get double Galv Blasted. Apostle's Blessing. Well, I guess that'll resolve. That's even worse. And I chose not to cast with buyback. That's not a card I've ever seen from Affinity, so it's one of those random things where we got. But we do have edicts, we have a bunch of stuff we can do here. Probably just going to end up edicting first. You know, I'm very cautious to play this out. Let's go ahead and see if he'll take the bait with this one. We need to quickly rise above. Okay, so I actually think we want to do this. I think we want to cycle. Make sure this is the play we want. Play this. Play the fountain. Gain some more life. Okay, so now we're out of range. I think we just won this game. I mean, the only way he can win now is drawing his third Atog and getting that fling off. Whoa, 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 whoa. So that's like his only option. We probably should have represented something in blue, but I think we're actually going to make it here. We're very much on track to finding more counter spells. So I'll start with Preordain. We don't want that stuff. Okay, I guess we're going to go in on this and hope that that works. I am going to Preordain again because I really do want to find some type of counter magic. Still not. Still just finding lands. But we're still in good shape so long as he doesn't draw what we're hoping he doesn't draw. He's really just hitting a bunch of lands. I mean, it's almost positive. We're almost positive he has a fling in hand. Here's a called shot with making red. Okay, he's actually Gal Blasting the Mole Drifter. Okay, and here comes the best draw ever. This should be able to put the game away pretty soon. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, I mean, we're on borrowed time. He's got enough artifacts to fling us away. So I'd really just love a Teachings, a Counterspell, a Hydroblast, even a Dispel would make me feel comfortable. That's a lot of live draws. Okay, that's fine. We have the Edict in the graveyard that I want to use first. But we also have this AK that I'd like to use even before then. Draw 3. I'm actually more interested in drawing cards than I am playing that Angler, even though we are going to get to do both. Let's start here. Wow. There's still no... so I'm just going to Edict him again. There's still no counterspell. So the best thing we can do is just try and kill him as quickly as possible. So I'll gain my life. $19, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15. Yeah, he's got way more than enough. But, I mean, I'm doing everything I can to hit the counter spell. I'm just not hitting it. I don't know, you know. So we just got to hope that he doesn't hit what he needs to hit. But as it stands, we're in pretty good shape. He's going to... This is 7, and then we're threatening 12. So we should have him at that point. I want to make sure that it's his connection, not mine. Seems to be the case. Yeah, looks like it is. So let's just make sure we don't hit any AKs or Chainer's Edicts. I don't think he can interact with our graveyard, so I'll just end up doing the first 6 here. That'll be the easiest. Man, just one counter spell. It's all we need to keep the game out of reach, but they're all sitting in the bottom 26 cards of our deck. That's pretty crazy. I've only used this one. And we used it on a Frogmite. We were very much in the hole, by the way. We pulled ourselves so far out of danger that, we're really lucky. Obviously, his connection's kind of cut out here. But he does have a chance to win this game. The window is closing. I mean, he basically has this one draw, right? Because we're dropping him to 9, and then we're threatening 12. So, very close game overall. I think I did everything I could to try and find more permission, but it just wasn't there. So I can't really... there's really not anything else I can say. If he does draw it, he's going to have to go for it, which is also a kind of a shame, because he has nothing to play around, essentially, where we might otherwise be able to trick him into not going for it, even though logically he would go for it in pretty much any instance. His chances of drawing in a Tog, look at it, he's got alternate art ones. I've never been a fan of this Tog art. I apologize to Jesper Mirfers for that, but I think Puddinhead just did a vastly superior job. It's got this nice comic book look. You get a much better composition overall. The entire frame of this image has a lot more going on. There's a lot more symmetry to it. And the lack of symmetry also adds so much character to this creature. I actually am a big fan of this art in general, not just because we're looking at it. It retains some of the original features of this, with the eyes and the jagged teeth, the vascularity, but it's just a much more stylized depiction. You even get a bit of the world in the background, where this one you have some hunks of metal kind of that he's clearly chomped into. He's eating them. But yeah, I think this guy's gone for good. It's possible he boarded out of Fling. I tend to board out of Fling against permission decks to some degree, if not all the way. So it's possible he has no more outs. And it's possible he's just going to time out. I mean, I do want to make sure. I do think that it is we who are connected here. And it says our opponent has disconnected. So I'm just going to save my breath, save my energy, and stop talking for now. Yeah, I think this is a really interesting thought experiment, or it's an interesting thing to ponder. His odds of drawing a Tog so that he could fling us for a lethal next turn. Because we are putting him just to that one draw, which is the best thing we can do at this point. Like I said, I've been digging for this damn counterspell the past 5 turns or something like that. Haven't found it, pushed all the lands to the bottom, drew a bunch of cards off of AKs and Muldrifters. And So our next best hope is just to put him to as small of a percentage to draw his out as possible. And that's what we're doing here with, I mean, the Dismal Backwater doesn't really factor in that much. It is the most beneficial land we could play aside from Island, which would help us represent Counterspell and be able to play Edict on top of casting the Angler. I mean, this is getting to the point that we're overanalyzing everything, but he's been considerably flooded both games, considering the fact, especially in game 1, that he was stuck on a single land for at least 2 turns. Well, I mean, I'm including turn 1. I think turn 1 and turn 2 he had a single land. He may have drawn the second one on turn 3. This game was much more interesting, I think. Well, it was more dynamic over a shorter span of time. We're only 10 turns in, whereas the last game probably went to about 20 turns. And this game saw us under a great deal of pressure, needing to find Evankar's Justice, finding it, putting ourselves in range of double Galvblast to lose, him using an Apostle's Blessing to keep the Frogmite alive, then us having to figure out how we wanted to sequence our turn that involved casting Chainer's Edict to get rid of his Frogmite. Also considering that he might have, okay, he's going to time out right here, guys, considering that he might have Pyroblast. But all of that's behind us now because it appears that we have won the match due strictly to a timeout. I think we had a strong chance to win due to a just a concession or, you know, lethal damage on the table. From what I can tell, he's timed out, so I don't think anything else is going to happen here. We'll just sit around and see if something is going to... Yeah, here we go. So we win the match 1-0 against Affinity with this Justice, Curse of the Bloody Tome teaching stack that sometimes sideboards into Gurmag Angler. Thanks for watching. Welcome to round number 2. We're on the play. We've decided to keep this hand. So let's begin. I think it's a little better against an aggressive deck for sure. A lot of our openers are like that. And a Forest is probably an aggressive deck. So I think I'll play the Island and go for a Disfigure, and then I'll Dispel a Mutagenic Growth or Gather Courage. And now I'll Preordain. I'm just looking for more ways to kill stuff. I mean, we don't really have a problem keeping both of these. My only issue... Yeah, I don't think I want the Aqueduct, actually. We're not going to cast it till turn 4 because we're going to want to bounce this. Okay, so he's actually Elves. This seems like it's going to be a great matchup. Simply because we've got so many sweepers, especially after board. Now, this thing could get away from us depending on how much mana he's actually able to generate. Crypt Incursion's not actually that relevant right now. Okay, that's good for us. That means mana acceleration is not going to happen too soon. I'm actually okay with just doing this. If we can get Evankar's Justice locked, that'll be sick. Okay, I definitely want to find something to kill. Our problem here is we don't have a second black source for Justice. And he's about to go kind of crazy here. You know, big threat is Birchlore Rangers or Timber Watch Elf, I think it's called. Okay, and another big threat is not drawing anything relevant. But we have some time here. Again, getting the Evankar's Justice lock is very close now. We just have to dig for it. And that will just end the game. We have to kind of... hope that... Okay, he's playing the Huntmaster, which we can't do anything about. I'm not going to cast Crypt Incursion here. I think we're going to get more leverage out of it later, and I really just don't want to do that. So we didn't draw anything. Guess I'm going to have to Edict him and just kill his Visionary. This is looking kind of bad. 3, 4, it's just everything. 5, 6, 7. So now he has carte blanche. I'm just going to sip on some tea or some water while he goes nuts. So this is a very bad situation. This board position is just getting crazy. Even Evankar's Justice right now is not going to matter very much. Crypt Incursion does buy us some time. I think we will just kill a guy. We want to diminish his ability to make mana on his turn. And then we also want to bolster our Crypt Incursion, which I'm getting pretty interested in casting here. So there's Timberwatch Elf. Now that's really bad for us because that Disfigure would have been much better pointed at. So we're taking what? 8? Yeah, I'm just going to use the Crypt Incursion to gain some life here. Our mana is going to be very tied up depending on what we draw. So I think I want to get a leg up here. And we're kind of dead. I'm just going to pass the turn. But I think we have a pretty strong post-board matchup. I don't think we can survive here. I think it's too many guys. And we're behind on the clock, so I'm actually just going to F6 right now. And if he can finish me off, so be it. I don't think he can. I hope he taps it, because then we still have Evankar's Justice to kind of get us out of this. I don't know how much damage that is. It's a lot. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, that's game. And we're going to hope to obliterate him next. So I think we can win the game without Curse. And Dispel does nothing. But all these cheap removal spells do some stuff. And these sweepers. I think Gurmag Angler, gums up the board. Spreading Seas I might actually bring in. He doesn't have a lot of lands. But I think Counterspell is probably more useful overall. And I think that's it. Yeah, this is a lot of kill. So, I mean, he really needs to have some crazy start. He needs to have Spider Silk armor to get around our sweepers and stuff. I think this is going to be good for us, even though we don't have a lot of counters. Let's play first. And this hand is very awkward, but it does have Evankar's Justice. We're basically going turn 1 Fountain, turn 2 Aqueduct, turn 3 Fountain Muldrifter or something. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it. It's very awkward based on the lands that this deck uses. He actually keeps 7 as well. We are gaining a bunch of life. We do have Evankar's Justice, so there's a lot of reasons to keep this hand. But the problem is we are going to let him kind of run rampant for a turn or two. I guess I can preordain into some kill, maybe even Shrivel would be the ideal. Okay, that's not ideal. Okay, there's a Vendetta, so that's looking good. So first things last, we're going to preordain. I think I want the Disfigure, don't want the land. I'll go ahead and Disfigure. He knows about the Fountain, so I'm going to play that. and pass. Better than playing the island. Next turn we also have some play because we can Vendetta his next thing, which looks like it's going to be the... Oh, I thought it was going to be the Hunt Master. Yeah, we got some play here. We can even go Vendetta, evoke Muldrifter with the island if we want. I don't think we want to, but it is an option. I am going to Vendetta the Llanowar Elves just to keep him from going too crazy next turn. Or that could happen, and we just use that right now. That seems pretty good. And now we Aqueduct the Radiant Fountain. Next turn we go for either Muldrifter or Gurmag Angler. Probably Muldrifter. We can also just play the Evankar's Justice depending what he does this turn. Yeah, if he just plays a bunch of... Yeah, we gotta take the Evankar's Justice. There's no reason not to. I think he's figuring out his mana and also deciding how much he wants to commit to the board. Because another sweeper like that will just body him. I'm still going to do this. It's pretty worthwhile. He gets a lot of utility out of Quirion Ranger, so... I mean, I guess he could have Wrap and Vigor that regenerates his guys. Yeah, he does have it. So there's that. And I could Vendetta one of those, but it's looking like I probably don't want to do that. See what he does next. Okay, he's making the guy. So I don't actually get to respond here. Well, actually I do, because now he can't cast anything at instant speed. So there's a saving grace right there. And let him do whatever. He's going to make more guys. Or not. He doesn't make any guys. So I think I'm leaving up Doomblade and casting our good buddy Gurmag Angler this turn. And we're about even on time. I'm just going to leave up everything so that he has to play around stuff. And I don't know, maybe he's playing Spell Pierce for some reason or something. So I don't think we need to, he's got so much mana that I don't think we need to kill these guys. I don't think it does a lot. It looks like he's going to Distant Melody. So in response, I guess I'll just kill it now. I mean, he could do it again. I'm still just going to do it now. It looks like he's going to cast Distant Melody. So, it's only a draw 2. He can't replay anything. So, his turn's actually over. Time to draw. We're in good shape. We are flooded, though. I'll go ahead and bash. I mean, he's going to have a hard time dealing with this unless he can really make a crazy turn. We are flooded. This could be a problem. It shouldn't be, but it could be. 4 cards. I'm going to F6. Let's see what he can do. We got more sweepers. We got to find them, though. Okay, so we need another sweeper here. We've got nothing but... Wow, he's going to go crazy on us. Got nothing but lands. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. I can't I can't win with nothing but lands. I mean, I'm doing what I can, but all lands is just not going to do it. Doesn't matter. Okay, he's got one card left. It's certainly Distant Melody. So we're screwed. I mean, the board is going to be so flooded, it's going to be ridiculous. He draws 6. I mean, maybe he just whiffs. I'm actually just going to F6. I mean, look, he can kill us with Timberwatch Elf pretty much only. So if he only draws 1 and I find a removal spell for it, I might be okay. I might be able to Muldrifter him out of the game. But now that he has Huntmaster, that's becoming less likely. Now again, I mean, he's likely going to somehow be able to Melody again. You know, one Melody tends to find another. But we'll see. I'm not sure how we win this game. If we find Evankar's Justice, might be able to. We have 6, 7, 8. We're going to have 9 mana next turn. He's going to have too many guys for us to just be able to block. So, you know, triple Timberwatch Elf should get us. Okay, now I don't think we actually can win unless we specifically find Evankar's Justice. Did I, like an idiot, exile away? Okay, I thought I might have exiled away Accumulated Knowledge. Here's another Melody. Yeah, so the only way we're going to do this is with a Justice. It either has to be on the top or there has to be a card that can draw us into it on the top. We're not getting out of this any other way. But again, guys, I mean, I have 9 lands, and I'm sure I pushed a land with a Preordain or something. So yeah, I mean, whatever else he does here doesn't exactly matter because it's all going to come down to, are we going to be able to wipe his board with Justice, or are we going to just get completely blown away by a Timberwatch Elf? I don't have a card in my deck that gets rid of both elves other than Justice. I mean, even Shrivel does a lot of work here, actually. It reduces his elf count to about 5. And it gets... He's going again. Does he actually deck himself? No, he goes down to 2 cards. So he's really all in here. Because, I mean, unless he has a haste, something that grants haste, or he has something that deals damage. So that second Distant Melody drew him into the remaining 2. That's pretty impressive. I mean, it's pretty crazy that I have 4 blanks in my hand. But that's how it is. Does he have something that does lethal? Ivy Lane Denizen. So why didn't he play that first? Because he would have been able to pump his guy up incredibly. And actually, this is gonna kill us too. He can just finish this off right here. Okay, so this is game. This matchup is interesting. I mean, it seems like it would be really good, but There's a lot of variables at play that in this instance didn't work out for us. And it's still going on. I know I'm kind of quiet on this end, but there's really nothing else to talk about because he has 28 cards in his hand, and all he needs to do is pump up creatures big enough to deal 20 damage to me. I did what I could, but I'm not good enough to go infinite like this and draw your entire deck. That's not my. That's not what this deck really does. This deck's a little more straightforward, a little more honest, a little more fair and boring. But Pauper Elves is not to be underestimated. Look at the crazy types of things that it can do. And this is all in one turn. This is his turn 8. I tried to sweep the board twice, and then just in one fell swoop, in one turn, he can explosively play some guys, play a distant melody, draw some cards, play more guys, draw more cards, play more guys, draw more cards. He drew basically his whole deck in one turn. Pretty gross. This is one of the most unfair things you can do in the format at this point. All the other unfair stuff got banned, so basically this is like the only deck left that can draw its entire library. So that's kind of, and make infinite mana. That's pretty profound. So that's what we're seeing here. And when you don't have any actual spells in hand and you only draw lands, not saying that's the only thing that happened this game, and not to take anything away from the opponent, but I really don't see anything else I can do to. I mean, we might as well just quit. You guys have probably fast forwarded at this point or something, but just let him go off, see what else happens. And a 2020 Elvish Visionary. I don't know, have any of you guys seen that before? I've never seen it. That is something. Another thing that's interesting is he's not playing Birchlore Rangers. He's playing Springleaf Drum. And it would be interesting to compare and contrast the merits of each card. Essentially just determining, which one is better suited and for what reasons. It's actually kind of cool not to see Birchlore Rangers, but I'm saying that from a biased perspective of being the enemy of this deck and that card just being annoying. Oh, he actually is playing Birchlore Rangers. Okay, so he's playing a bit of both. Birchlore Rangers obviously pair extremely well with Nettle Sentinels. As long as you can cast elves or green spells, they can give you infinite mana. So, in theory, I mean, you need 1 mana green spells, but this deck has no shortage of that. It would be funny if just halfway through this guy's tinkering around, I just left. You know what? Let's just do that. There's more to life than watching this guy go off. So he wins the match. We got 2-0'd. I think this is definitely a winnable matchup. So you guys tell me. We're 1-1, searching for redemption. Let's see what we can do. Hello and welcome to round 3. We are once again on the play and we've kept 7. We are missing a third land, but I'm hoping that AK will get us there. We're against a red deck and it looks like it's burn. Could be blue-red. We're going to try and find some lands. Yeah, we want both of these, especially because they gain us life, which should be useful. Yeah, he's going to burn us. So next turn's Radiant Fountain into Curse, I think. I'm not even sure if that's the way we win. This matchup, I'm really not sure about. Seems pretty difficult. I mean, we could AK and try and find something, but there's not a lot of things that are relevant that we could find. So I'm just going to hit him with Curse. And we'll see what happens. I mean, we do have some life gain engines in the deck. I think after board it's going to get a lot better because we have Hydroblast, we have Negate, we have Spreading Seas, which actually, if you think about it, is pretty effective against this deck because it's, let's say they're down to just 2 lands like he is. It happens all the time. If you Spreading Seas them, you slow down their clock by a full turn. Every turn they can only produce half as much burn. So it seems like a very useful tool as well. Now I could have cast AK and tried to find a Dispel or something, but for now I'm just going to do this. This seems to maybe be getting me somewhere. I'm still at 16 and it's turn 4, so that's quite good. Okay, so we're going to be... Oh, I thought it was going to be a Keldon Marauders. Yeah, I don't know what we can do against double Curse. It's just... It's a very painful predicament to be in. And all we have are removal spells. It's pretty sad. Yeah, he's going to eventually catch up to us. He's still got 5 cards. So... This is going to get ugly. I mean, he can also just sit back on Curse. We're not actually doing anything to him. His Curse is outracing our Curse is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to save clock. I'm not going to bluff counter magic too much. It looks actually like he's a bit flooded. Okay, I'm at 9. Now I'm at 7. Okay, I don't think I can actually make it to next turn, but if I do, I am going to gain 2 life. Yeah, just too much flood, and we're seeing this again, so we might want to look at our land count in the deck. Wow, a 3rd Curse, so at any moment, Fire Blast can just get us. Yeah, there's no way we're making it out. We do get to see more of his deck, which is kind of a good thing, but this is just so ugly. You know, Gurmag Angler is something we're going to want. Is he going to just burn me now? Because I have nothing. I mean, I have nothing I can do to him. Yep, another land. He's really flooded, but it's not going to matter. All he has to do is bolt me. Or just pass. I mean, I'm not going to make it. Yeah, so that's game. Let's just concede. I mean, I guess I'll check out 2 more cards from his deck, but okay, that's it. So I mean, there's nothing that surprising here. He's got all the usual suspects. So let's get to our sideboarding. So a lot of this removal is dead, especially the stuff that only kills small creatures. We want to leave in a little bit, and we do want Devour Flesh because that could actually gain us some life if we pair it with one of these. I don't think we really even need these. I think this is probably enough. So we want all these interactive elements. We could also play this just as a cycler. I'm not even sure how much we want Justice, but We also need anglers, so we're going to have to cut some more. I mean, I don't think we want 2 copies of Justice. I don't even think that's our win con. I don't think that's how we win. I think we win with Angler and, you know, maybe Crypt Incursion pairing with this to do some work. This might just be the configuration we're looking for. 4 removal spells is even pretty steep. I think 4 is fine, though. Yeah, I don't know how we actually kill him. I guess if we have 2 talismans in place and he's not, you know, he's kind of top decking, it's possible that that's the way we kill him. I have everything I absolutely want. Now, is there anything I should cut here? I don't think so. I mean, we could cut Curse completely. It's kind of a dead card, which means we're basically leaning on Angler to win. I'm willing to try it and just have this as another cycler. Yeah, I'm going to try this. This doesn't seem like a fantastic matchup. We do have a lot of stuff that works against it. So, and this hand would be perfect if this was an island and not a Radiant Fountain. But we actually can't keep this. I would never recommend anyone keep this. It's a bit of a tragedy that we have to mulligan against such a fierce opponent, but he might mulligan too. They play not many lands. So this is a 1-lander our opponent has kept, and I don't think we can keep this either. I think, you know, the fact that we have all these complicated, hard-to-cast spells on top of just a 1-lander means we have to mulligan again. And I'm going to just end up keeping this instead of going to 4. Hopefully, scry into a blue source. Okay. So it's not the end of the world, but we're looking pretty bad. It's possible I should have kept one of those other hands, but at this point we just have to keep the 5 and hope that does something. Okay. I actually think our best draw from here is an island, so that I can preordain and leave up negate. If he just hits me with a curse, or even a guy, Keldon Marauders is pretty bad for us too. Yeah, this is looking pretty awful. So it looks like I'm just going to leave up negate here. If he doesn't do anything, I'll happily AK. But we see the curse, so we're going to negate. You always just counter. Just counter, counter, counter. Don't try and play these silly games like, oh, well, curse is not as dangerous as fire blast, so I won't counter the curse. Don't do anything like that, ever. Again, I'm speaking in generalizations, but it's really an important thing. I'm actually going to preordain here. It digs me a little deeper. The island I do want, I don't know if I want Muldrifter. I guess it draws me deeper. This is really tough. I am going to Spreading Seas his mountain. Basically what I'm trying to say is whenever you're not countering spell A because there's some possibility that his spell B will be worse, you're doing yourself a huge... Is he going to Stone Rain us? Oh, no. You're doing yourself a huge disservice because he's so much more mana efficient, and so, I'm not sure which one I do. I think I do this to draw 2 now. He's so much more mana efficient, and he's better at instant speed doing what he wants to do, that you can't sit around and wait. You have to use as much of your mana as possible. I kind of want to save this to try and hit a Radiant Fountain. So I'm going to play the... We're really dwindling down here. You really just got to counter what they do, right? He's going to incinerate me or whatever. Incinerate and Chain Lightning and Lava Spike and Lightning Bolt are basically the same card. They all do 3 to you. So just counter what he presents. He's trying to... Man, this really sucks. He's trying to chip away at your life total at all costs. This doesn't even do anything. This gains me 3. guess that's kind of important right now. So I think I'll do it. I could also just draw 2. I think I'd rather gain 3 though. I'm just going to do it now. Before he has a chance to respond or do anything. He's trying to chip away at your life total with everything he has, every little piece. So just fight those pieces off. You don't get to pick your battles against this deck. They get to pick the battles. So just fight him on that battle, that fight on that axis. I know I'm saying this and probably going to lose, but the methodology is sound. So we need to find some hydroblasts immediately. Okay, there's one. So we're just going to cut this down. Actually, hang on. We can draw 3 here. I don't have duress, so it doesn't do a lot. We're still going to kill this one. We get a spreading seas, his other land. We're at 6. I don't think we can survive. He has to just get me down to 2. He probably has a fire blast. Maybe it was smarter to... Yeah, I might have misplayed this. I might have wanted to spreading seas his mountain there. I wasn't really considering... It doesn't matter. Okay. Actually... Does he have the fire blast or not? Yeah. So, had I cast spreading seas there, I think we actually would have lived to go down to 1. Not sure. Have to look at that again. But we're actually 1 and 2. This is the worst performance I've had in the league so far. I mean, I've had plenty of 3-2s, but the way this is going, it's going to be kind of tough to get back to a 3-2. Let's go ahead and see what happens. We're going to play all the matches out regardless. And thank you guys very much for watching. Round number 4 has begun. We are again on the play, again keeping 7 cards. And again, wishing the opponent good luck, of course. Now, I briefly reviewed the last match, and it appears that I did punt at least the very last turn there. I'm going to go with the Tragic Slip first before I preordain. This gets around days, lets me see if he's got mutagenic growth. So, that last turn that we were alive, I should have cast Spreading Seas on the mountain so that he couldn't fire blast me and couldn't cast 2 burn spells in that turn. He would need to draw a mountain to do anything like that. I was mouthing off way too much about the strategic tenets of the matchup, and then it ended up paying the price. There was a high possibility he could still beat us, whether or not we cast the Spreading Seas or not. He still has 2 curses in play. He still has the potential to draw a mountain and just cast 2 burn spells. We could have just flooded out and not been able to do anything. But I didn't really take into account my life total, which was at 6. So the decisions I made in that turn were very, very crucial, to the point that I should have stopped to think about what I was doing, and I didn't. So there's that. He's gushing here, and I'm going to let him have it. He's setting himself pretty far behind, and the only thing I'm really interested in countering is a threat right now, which actually would line up quite well. I guess he does have 1 in his pool, so he can make a 2-drop, but there's not really a lot of 2-drops. Okay, so this is good. He's pretty far behind, and he's going to have to discard, unless he just randomly has like a Spell Pierce or a Dispel that he wants to cash in so that he doesn't discard it. That's perfectly reasonable. But he is going to discard. Guessing like Snap would be something. Discard a Ninja. I am fine with that. Alright, so we're going to leave up Teachings. He's probably doing something this turn. But if not, we'll just go for the Teachings. I'm fine with him countering it. And actually going to get a removal spell here. As you can see with our mana, we don't have quadruple blue. So there's really no point to get another counter spell. I'm thinking Disfigure, but he's getting to the point that he's actually going to play Spire Golem or something. So I'm actually going to get the Edict, and I am going to pass. We are missing lands, but so is he, so we're not actually behind in that regard. There's no reason to just leave. I mean, we could just as easily leave up, or sorry, not leave up anything. Yeah, let's just go ahead and fight over this now. I'd rather have him fight. I'd rather free up our mana on our turn if he wants to just try and spell Stutter Sprite. Plus, it just frees up what we're doing a lot more. So he's gonna daze. That does set him back a little bit. So I'm going to, I guess, just dead weight and leave up Counterspell. Seems reasonable. Does stop a Spire Golem from coming down. And if he plays, yeah. So if he plays, theoretically, if he had played a Delver and countered our counter, we can still take it out with Justice. We can still research to try and find an answer. So this is perfect. We get to research and leave up a counter spell. See what we draw here. Bunch of good stuff. I have to actually discard 2 cards. Which is kind of tricky. Could discard the AK in hopes of finding another one later. I'm actually going to pitch the Justice and the Preordain. And that might seem weird, but there is some method to the madness. I actually think he has another Golem coming up. So if he casts it, oh, he actually has a Ninja. So I don't need to counter this. I can obviously Edict, and I get to draw my 2 cards here, which kind of undoes the compulsive research, first of all. We could easily put him on these type of threats. So having, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could tap out for Muldrifter. Don't love that play. I'm going to go ahead and kill this. It's a very imminent threat because it draws him into more stuff. And we're setting ourselves up to be able to either Muldrifter with Deprive backup or do whatever. Okay, so he's got a couple counters in hand. I think I'll cash this in because we're going to have 6 mana up anyway. Alright, that's pretty cool. Double counter. Is he going to spell Stutter? Yeah, so we're going to have to fight over this. Oh well. Get my backwater back, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe not. Does he have a second one? He's saving the counter. Oh, okay. I don't know. I guess we don't need the life. It'd just be better to have smoother mana going forward. So let's do it like that. We've dealt with a number of threats. If he just passes, that would be pretty good for us. He might just have another Ninja. He did discard 1 and hard cast another. So he's doing something. Yep, it's a Ninja. So we are going to get this Muldrifter. I don't feel comfortable casting Teachings and then getting a removal spell because another Daze or Force Spike type effect will punish that. So I'm going to go for the Muldrifter, which seems pretty safe. We have a Preordain, and we have a Counterspell. So I guess I'll just leave up the Counterspell, even though I think he's going to probably snap this. I don't know what he's going to do. We'll see what happens. So bottom top, he is going for the snap. I'm going to fight over it. He might counter again, but he's really at the bottom of the barrel in terms of his resources. Yes, Ninja can get him back. Wow. Ninja can get him back another card. But still, we got a Muldrifter, we got a Preordain, we have a Chainer's Edict, we have a Teachings. We have 4 resources to his 2, and I'm not even positive he's not just going to play a land here and only have one card left. So, you know, I could start with Preordain. It does fall to a third sprite, but it does also force his hand. Definitely taking the Doomblade. I guess what we'll do is top this. We'll go for Mole Drifter. If he counters it, we'll just Doomblade his guy. We could also just Doomblade first. And that forces him to have a third daze and a counterspell. Okay, so now we just go for the Mole Drifter. Now if he has another daze, that's tough luck for us, but it's also, again, it's not a huge problem because we still have all this stuff. And he doesn't have it. I mean, eventually they just run out. I'm not saying he's going to lose here, but he's got one card and we have a lot of resources left available to us. We just block this. Okay, he doesn't even attack. I'm just going to leave up Teachings. I could go for Edict, but I'm going to leave up Teachings instead, which allows us to get any number of 2-mana answers, but hopefully just gets us another Teachings. We can get that chain going. So this is exactly where we want to be. We're still at 20 life. We've got all the lands in the world so that we can do a lot of things. Our opponent is no longer drawing additional cards. He didn't shuffle though. So of course some blocking. You know, he's only got 2 cards. He can't draw extras. Looks like he's probably got another threat. It's fine with me because I'm going to Teachings and I also have this Chainer's Edict here. 2, 4, okay. Looks like maybe he's got another Spell Stutter sprite, which is fine. Feeling pretty good about our position. And I draw a Diabolic Edict. So, yeah, I'm just going to get my Fountain back, even though it just leaves me with 8 mana. That's going to be plenty. He just passes. So he's going to ponder again. Guess he's interested in trying to set up for the long haul, but I think we're, you know, greatly advantaged there. Okay, time to get some counter spells. Equip, yep, that resolves too. Because we definitely have plenty of answers. We have 2 answers for this. So let's, oh, we're out of counter spells. So we could get a Dispel. We could get a Crypt Incursion. Think we could also get an AK, or we could just get a removal spell. So many options. I'm just going to get a Dispel for now. Crypt Incursion will end his life, but guess we don't need to do it right now. So this is 2, 4, 6, 7. We technically don't have an answer to Spell Stutter Sprite. I guess we do because we Dispel immediately. Or sorry, we Diabolic Edict immediately. Okay, or not. So he untaps here. That's going to resolve. I'm just going to wait until I can untap to try and take care of this. Obviously, I have double Dispel. Oh, that's a pretty good draw. So this costs 6. And I can just kill. You know what? I'm just going to get some more cards in hand and see how that feels. There's really nothing he can do about it. So one of his cards is an island. Okay, so now we know that he is hellbent. Double Dispel to the rescue. Draw a bunch of crap. I'm just going to Edict him now. We know he only has an island, so we're at 21 cards. but that'll be plenty. And another teaching, so I think I'm just going to do this now and get my AK. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crypt Incursion would do it too. So there's the Curse and the Crypt Incursion. I don't have any more counters, so I think I might as well just go for it now. I don't have much shame. And it's only going to make this Crypt Incursion better. And this is on track to mill him out for sure. I don't need to draw. I don't really need to do anything until he presents me with a reason to react. Yeah, that's fine. It's also fine. So 3 a turn means to get to 26, we need about 8 cards in our library, something like that. So I'll just get the remaining disfigures here. And I mean, we can do this at any point. I'll do it on his upkeep. I mean, he's also not really doing much to stop this Mold Drifter either, is he? So I don't know what I have to do. I guess I auto yield. And we'll let him reveal. Okay, go for the disfigure. It resolves, so we'll just untap. Looks like he's just going to pass. 3 times 12, I believe, is 36. So that's more than enough to mill him out. We just don't really need to draw any cards. He's going to snap. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Doesn't really do anything. I'm just going to pass. All I have to do is wait him out, make sure I don't lose, because I have the inevitability here. And he's really far away from being able to stop me, so. Especially because I have this Crypt Incursion that I can use at any time to put my life total way far out of range. I mean, I might as well have even done that. If I do that now, well, here's the thing. I can kill this, first of all. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill it. Then I'm going to let my curse mill, and then I'm going to Crypt Incursion him. Yeah, we got 6 more life out of that. And the game's over, but we have to go through the motions anyway. I'll go up to about 50, I'm guessing. I didn't even count. I don't need to. 65. There's no way he's doing 65 in the next 5 turns, so let alone 67. We literally don't have to cast any spells. The game is over. We just pass, but we are kind of behind on time, so I'm actually just going to start F6ing. And I'm not going to cast anything, because we are kind of far behind on time. We don't even need to play the lands out. He's just killing us for time right now, so just keep spamming F6. Okay, we win. Yeah, so we actually see all of his deck. Nothing too out of the ordinary. It's very stock. There are dazes to take into consideration. Looks like only 2, though. Yeah, so we won that. I actually, as you probably know if you've watched me for the past 8 months or so, I take out all my 2-mana counters against this deck, and I treat it as though it's any other aggro deck. And I just add more removal. I think we actually want to play Shrivel. Kills a good portion of what he's doing. And then I think Angler could be good. I mean, Curse was obviously fine there. I think we can kill him either way we want. What I like about Curse is that he can't really do anything about it. We are running low on time. Angler blocks some stuff on the ground, but comes down faster. It's more susceptible to snap, though. So I guess I'll try it like this. We probably don't need that second Curse. I actually think that's bad boarding. This hand is kind of clunky. I am going to try it, though. I don't think there's any reason to mulligan. He did mulligan to 6, and he put it on top. But because there's no Miscreant, we don't have to worry so much about Preordain hurting us. So he's not going to have a threat to like turn 2. Oh, he does have a Miscreant. So what was he doing there? I really don't know. Another Chainer's Edict or an island? I mean, I don't know that I want either. We have so many lands. We're just going to be kind of far behind. I guess... Yeah, I'm going to bottom it. And we have so many tapped lands. We're going to end up discarding if I play the Aqueduct, so I'll just play the Backwater. Kind of doesn't matter because we have so many tapped lands regardless. Everything's just a turn slower now. Because we can only Edict... Oh, okay. So we get to Edict this. Except he might daze it. That could be a problem. Definitely could be a problem, but we have to go for it anyway. And just let whatever happens happen. So I think I'll Aqueduct this turn. Yeah, he's going to daze. Cool. And yeah, this turn I am going to do that. We don't have to discard. All our lands come into play tapped. Very slow. So I'm hoping he casts the Miscreant. He is drawing a bunch of extra cards, but it's not exactly backbreaking. So long as we can kill it this turn. And it's not looking like we're going to be able to. I mean, we should probably at least try. So I'll stop him on his upkeep. Looks like he might have Sprite as well. This gives us a shot to hit Muldrifter next turn. So my guess is he's going to counter this. I'm just going to F6. Wow, he found his land before even hitting with the ninja. So we got to endure this a little bit longer. We have a Disfigure as well. Alright, I'm going to stop him on his upkeep. I'm going to use both of these. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing with the teachings. Okay. That's interesting. So here I'm hoping that he casts Miscreant so I can at least Shrivel, but we'll see. Just cast Shrivel or Miscreant, please. Preordain. Okay. So now I can kill both of these guys. Bottom. He does find a land. Cast Miscreant. Do it. Do it. Come on, you bastard. So my Doomblade's gone. He's doing it. Alright, great. So we at least get to stabilize the board. He's got a lot of stuff going on. I guess I'll just get Tragic Slip. That gets out of the range of the dreaded mutagenic growth. And I actually am going to just evoke this because we need resources. I don't think he has daze because I think he would have considered dazing the teachings. So but he does have a lot of resources. We are kind of at parity now because we can... Ooh. Stormbound Geist with a counter. I think I'm just going to go with the research. I don't want to lead on pre... Okay, never mind. I will lead on preordain. I could also flashback Chainer's Edict. Deadweight is okay, but only okay. Doesn't accurately deal with either of these. I think I'm going to keep it though. I'm going to bottom that. Now is not the time for that. So let's draw 3. So I can go for... This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to cast this first. If he doesn't dispel it, I'm going to play an island and try to deadweight it. And that basically plays around everything we've seen in his deck. Yeah, he's representing dispel there. So that's something we should keep in mind. So we kind of played that as best we could. Now we're only taking 2 a turn. We're very far behind on time. I don't know why I'm going this slow. There's a Delver. Gross. So if he tops, we know he's he's set to flip. That's kind of gross. We know he has a dispel too. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 mana available. So he's deciding, do I tap out? Plays a land. Very miscreant. Okay, I think he's going to actually dispel both of these. Or sorry, the second one of these. But not a lot I can do. I could Teachings. I guess I could try. He's only going to counter it though. Yeah, maybe he'll let this go through. Let's see what he says. He lets it go through. I'm going to have to cycle though. Maybe he was faking on the dispel. We're in a terrible position. I think we actually are not going to do this on his upkeep. I think we're going to do this on his end step. Okay, that's actually pretty good for him. So this is 6. We don't have long. Una's Grace now. Okay. Resolves. So I need an Evan Carr's Justice. So Spellstutter Sprite will actually work wonders. But that lets us get Crypt Incursion, which we might be able to do something with. He should have a Dispel, right? That's what he was representing when he tapped. He saw me go Disfigure first, and then I went, whoa! Then I went Deadweight. So I'm going to start here. That actually resolves. Wow. I'm out of Dispels, right? Oh, I don't think I've used one. So this makes me take 2. I got a 4. I think I have to use the Shrivel. Yeah, I think I have to use the Shrivel. And then Vendetta the Delver. Okay, now I have to go for the Dispel. This is really awkward. He didn't do anything though. So I guess I'm killing that. And going to 2. Then I'm going up to 3, which actually doesn't matter because Dismal Backwater, I mean, he has 3 on the table. Chainer's Edict doesn't do enough. So I actually need to find, I actually need to just go for Crypt Incursion. Okay. So what does Crypt Incursion do? It gains me 3, 6, 9, 12. Oh, I just naturally drew it. So I can also kill... am I out of disfigures? I guess I can't kill anything. Three, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I'm going to flashback Chainer's Edict and go for Crypt Incursion when he puts Stormbound Geists under it. There's no reason for me to play around Daze because we just can't beat him if he has it. So I'm not going to play around it. He's going to sack Stormbound Geists. Oh, he didn't. That's weird. Okay, well, I'm still going to try and gain 15. That should do something for me. If he has the Daze, like, I'm not winning this game anyway. I go all the way back up to 20. That's actually pretty good. But we still might lose this game. We know he has a Fairy Miscreant. This game is pretty intense. The Una's Grace is working well for him, but it is tapping him pretty low all the time. I'm even out Doomblade. I'm out of all my point removal. There's another Teachings. I don't know what I can get with it other than draw 4. I guess it's something I could do. And I guess I'll try it on his upkeep or something. Oh, I guess I'm going to do it now. So, how am I doing this? I think I'm going to draw 4. I think that's my best option. And hopefully gets me some leverage. Yeah, this is not the best. But I think I'll wait. I'm going to do it on his upkeep, though. Things are getting crazy. He's just going to counter it. Okay. We're running low on time. This game is not looking good for us at all. It's going to 12. Yeah, this game's not going to last much longer. Problem is the time. Yeah, we may just want to give up here. I'm not exactly sure like what I could do to get out of this anyway. Bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to GG here. I think we need to conserve our resources for the next game. We were pretty much out of everything. So that was really awkward. I think we leave as is, or we could play Anglers. I think Anglers would have been pretty helpful there. Also, dealing with Stormbound Geist is not the best. It would be nice to have a hard counter somewhere, or just a spell bomb to deal with it. That's really hard to make room for, though. Maybe we cut a Teachings for it. We can just get rid of it later if we need to. And this is our record, not looking very good. So let's try and rectify that. Definitely playing first, definitely keeping. One thing that's affecting our time is that F8 does not work if we have... Okay, so I'm going to do something kind of lame here, which I'm going to play around days. I think that's actually okay. It ultimately might not be worthwhile, but I think we can afford to do it. Kind of depends what he does this turn. If he just pawn... I mean, he might have a guy, so... I think I might research. Yeah, I think I'm going to research. It's hard to say. I could AK and Aqueduct. I think research is better. I'm not really interested in casting Justice next turn. I don't really see a way it's going to resolve. I don't see a situation where... Okay, that's fine. Where his board is justiciable and he doesn't have counter magic around. Okay, this could be bad, but he didn't flip. I guess if he gets a ninja, we don't like that. He does have a ninja. Okay, that's pretty awful for us. I'm actually going to draw 2. And I am going to Aqueduct. We have a second one for the fountain, so I think it's okay. So our hope is that he just floods the board and gets eaten alive by Evankar's Justice. But I don't think that's going to happen. Hope he goes Delver. Okay. So I think we actually... Oh. So again, I don't think we can afford to play around... days. I think we just have to go for it. I mean, there's really no time to waste. Oh my god. Okay, we got it. So that's a big boost. Kind of like 1-for-1s there. He's got Delver. He's got Preordain. Again, this is why I treat this like an aggro deck, because he's just deploying threats constantly. I am going to draw and bounce the fountain. Okay, that's actually a pretty good draw. Yeah, I could go for the Tragic Slip. Could also bait out with the Doomblade. But for now, I'm just going to bounce. I guess... Let's go here. I'm going to make him cast his Sprite on his turn, and we'll see what happens. I've got to use my mana. I know he's flipping. He knows he's flipping. I got to make him do something here. I could have played Island, Preordain, made him Sprite it. Okay, he didn't have the Sprite, so... Okay, there's a Ponder. Okay, this is good. We get to kill this. We know he doesn't have Sprite. He would have used it right there. We're actually okay. We need to find more action. Guess he could find a Dispel. Princess Pepe. Top, top, top. I think he's shuffling. Not shuffling. Did not equip. So that's Dispel for you. Oh, never mind. Shrivel. Or something. We don't need a third Preordain. We don't need any lands. Draw 3. I think I'll do that. Okay, this is pretty good. Doomblade first. We're definitely anglering. I'm going to Preordain last because I want Daze to be kind of the last thing that... If he has it, I want it to hit the least important thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need to find something good. I'll keep the the Edict. It's down to 2 cards. Finds a Gush, though. That's going to replenish, and it's going to let him flip. And we are hurting. Okay. I still need to draw something good. That's not exactly good. We're on 2 turns now. I guess I can hit him on his upkeep with this. So I kind of have to. Or I could do it now. It looks like he might Gush right now. Is he going to eat it with a Spell Stutter Sprite? I think he might Gush. Okay. He actually doesn't lose any mana, really. Does he have anything? He's got something. Yep, resolves. Again, we're flooded. Every time we lose, we're flooded, and every time we're flooded, we lose. So that kind of says to me, and we're on a 1-turn clock. Yep, we have nothing. All he has to do is Spell Stutter Sprite me for me to lose. This deck definitely needs an overhaul. It definitely needs less lands. I added a bunch of card draw to it, and it turns out that it's not in balance with the amount of lands we have. So we're at 1. Just going to cast a Ninja. So there are some things I could draw. Angler's not one of them, but we're going to try and get there. I think he's going to swing. He's taking it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I cast this for 3. 1, 2. I mean, we have so much draw, and we didn't draw the relevant stuff. So the configuration of the deck is clearly off. Best thing we can hope for here is for him to miss his attack. But otherwise, we're on track to have the worst league performance I've ever had, which is to go worse than 3-2. Right now, we're going 1-3. It's pretty horrendous for us. So, yeah, unfortunate, that's for sure. That's one way of saying it. As long as he attacks, it's over. Yep, it's over. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We are definitely just doing horribly. But we'll play one more, and maybe we can at least do something. See you guys later. Alright guys, this is it. The final round. We are on the play. We kept 7 cards. And time to put us out of our misery. We've done terrible this league. This has been the not a satisfactory league for me this time around. I'm going to have to analyze some things. I definitely punted here and there. And yeah, we'll have to look at some of the matchups, the configuration of this deck. I ended up actually taking a break for the rest of the day. And this match is occurring on the following day. We're playing against Kuldotha Jeskai, which should be a good matchup. So it certainly is a good matchup with other versions of blue-black that I've played in the past. So we're going to AK here. There's no threats on the table. We have a counter spell up. So I think I'm just going to play Guildgate and pass. Next turn I think I'm going to leave up Teachings, and we won't cast Aqueduct until turn 5. So let's see what he does here. If there's something I can kill with a dead weight, I'll let it resolve. Here you see, so we might end up actually using the Aqueduct. A little more interested in countering things like Kuldotha Rebirth. However, we do have Evankar's Justice anyway. So there is that to think about. Okay, so he's not doing anything yet in terms of replaying. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna deadweight and Aqueduct my Dismal Backwater. That seems okay. It's a little bit clunky because we're returning a tapped land and then playing it back out later. But we've got our second AK, which is going to be good. We've got Counterspell, We've got an untapped land in hand, so we don't necessarily have to play this land. So there's a lot of reasons to make this play, I suppose. I've found that the Aqueduct is a double-edged sword. It really forces you into certain lines when it's your only land to play. Don't really like that. But I'm not dead set on cutting it from the deck just yet. Okay, looks like, wow, we're just going to be eating a bunch of burn. So he's not doing anything. Oh, he is going to do something. Lone Missionary. I think I'm actually just going to counter that guy. I could set him up for an Evankar's Justice, but right now I just want to use my mana. So I'm going to play Backwater, and then when he does something, I'm going to cast AK to try and find a counter or a removal spell. And if he does nothing, I'll just cast Teachings. And it looks like he's going to do nothing. So his whole hand is removal and burn, which is good and bad. If it's enough burn to really threaten us, that could be a problem. But if it's mostly removal, then we're actually in great shape. So I guess we have time to cast Preordain here. We can get some more lands. I don't actually think I want either, because I'm going to be drawing 2 cards with... Well, I just said we could get some more lands, so maybe that doesn't make sense. We're going to draw 2 cards with AK anyway. Or we're just going to cast Teachings again, I don't know. Cycling. Yeah, so he could also have some excess lands. So we should put him on... He's going to start burning us. Should put him on probably 2 or 3 burn spells, a journey, 1 or 2 lands, and I don't know what else. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I guess I'll just get another counter spell. Seems good. And yeah, we'll just pass now. Don't actually need the 8K when we have these Teachings to do. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blue sources, so it's okay to get even 1 more counter spell. But I'm actually going to get another Teachings, I think. Yep. And similar to Affinity, you let all their card draw resolve. Really just want to stop the things that are a threat that create a board presence. So that's fine. We're obviously we don't care that much about a Cold Oath or Rebirth. So I'll have to decide what I want to do with that. I'll probably end up countering it anyway just for mana purposes. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to get another Teachings. Actually, you know what? I'll get another counter spell. I'll use that Teachings in the yard to get the last Teachings. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to pass. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 more land and we can start doing this if he makes small creatures. Yeah, that's fine. We have a Chainer's Edict. And a Justice if we want to use it. Yep. Technically, he's seen more cards than we have, but he has more dead cards in his deck against us. It's kind of cool. I'm going to AK first. Actually, I'll get the Teachings first so that I don't draw it with the AK, I guess. I'm actually not sure what's preferred sequencing there. Probably going to end up discarding. I guess we'll see. So there's the land, but I'm still going to just use the Chainer's Edict. So he basically can't create enough threats to beat us. It's just not going to happen. Based on what we have here. I actually think I'm going to let this resolve 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. That's it? Oh boy. That's all you got? Skyfisher, I'm going to counter. He has 7 cards, so there's got to be some method to his madness here. Crypt Incursion, AK, Deprive. Guess I'll take Deprive. I don't really know any better. Alright, justice is served. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. We do have to be a little worried about a bunch of Galv Blasts, but right now Incursion can gain us 12, so that's worth 3 Galv Blasts. I'm going to let this resolve. I can Edict. I'm going to counter the next threat, though. Actually, if no other threats come down, I'm going to Diabolic Edict, I think. Oh, here comes Muldrifter. No way, buddy. And that's it. So I guess I'm just going to Edict him. Sometime on his turn. And then with that Teachings, I think I'm getting AK. I could get a removal spell, but I think I want either AK or Dispel. I don't think we need... Yeah, that's fine. I don't think we need Crypt Incursion at 21 life. But it is kind of the only way he gets us is with Burn. I think I just want the AK. I think that's going to be enough to win. Yep. It's pretty epic. I mean, none of his creatures ever get to attack. It's pretty epic. Yeah, we'll just draw 3. Okay, this is pretty sweet. So preordain first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Could just cast the Muldrifter. It's a lightning rod for his removal, but it's not that bad at the end of the day. I actually don't think we need to draw 4. I think we'll just draw 2. 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to discard a couple cards. There's Curse. Yeah, let's do it. We're safe enough here. And I will pitch Dismal Backwater. I'm kind of surprised he didn't burn the Muldrifter right away. I guess he's going to use Journey on it. Or we're just blocking. Alright. How does he not have any removal? This is a shock to the system if I've ever seen one. Maybe it's all burn and his plan is to save all the burn for me. I guess that could be something. We still have Chainer's Edict in the graveyard. So this is a Muldrifter. I think I'm just going to counter it as well. I could deprive it just to get the fountain back, but we can do that later. That's not an imminent play we need to make. And here comes... Oh, O-Ring. That's clever. Still gonna beat you with Justice, I guess. So we just need to find our talismans at this point. Or we could Crypt Incursion to gain a bunch of life and do it that way. So I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. 7 plus 3 is 10. So I guess I'll just wait this turn. No, I'll just start 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just start. Yep. Yep. So I don't see us losing, but I'm just mentally thinking about certain things that could happen here. I am going to Doomblade his guy. Guess I could have just used the Edict. Again, his only real way to get us is with a lot of burn. So he's starting to burn us, which is okay because we're going to use Crypt Incursion to counteract all of that. So he can burn us as much as he wants here. Okay, I'm at 11. He's just throwing it all. 8. So 2 Galvlasts, we can counter one of them. Yep, I'm at 4. He knows about the Deprive, so I don't know why he would go for it. Okay. Well, I'm just going to start things off here. And then, of course, I'm going to use the Incursion now. Guess I could wait till his end step because there is a chance that I can get one more creature out of it. So we're going to gain 3, 6, 9, 12, Skyfisher. This is actually interesting. I'm going to let it resolve. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Okay, so it's 3 life that we're not going to gain, but it's actually okay. Based on how we're going to deal with this, we're going to use the Edict. It's going to take us 10 turns to... Yeah, so that's going to be game, but it's going to take us about 12 turns to get him with Justice, not counting the times we can do it twice. But this turn, we're just going to end up using the Edict. Oops. Looks like I wasted a mana. That was not intentional. So we need to try and speed... Well, we don't necessarily need to try and speed things up because we have 2 minutes and 15 seconds advantage. I don't think I actually need to cast that. Could just evoke. So I might as well. I have the time. I have the number of cards, but okay. Let's do this. Yeah, that used up a lot of burn. All 3 bolts and 2 Galv blasts. I mean, he's just not going to have the burn to get the job done here. And he has look at his late game. He has nothing to do with all of these lands. We at least are doing something every turn. And we're almost to the point that we can do this twice a turn. Yeah, we can start doing this twice a turn. Pretty brutal. Yep, pass. I'm at 31. He's got seven turns left here. Should he just concede? I don't know. I mean, I think he should, but it's his call. I mean, if he thinks he has a chance still, that's his decision as being more experienced with this deck, but I can't see him getting out of this at all. This is the ideal situation for us to be in. Empty board, no threats, high life total, bunch of resources, bunch of cards in hand, inevitability, incremental advantage every single turn. We've got him on a 5-turn clock basically, or not even, because we're doing 4 a turn now, so it's like a 3-turn clock. Yeah, that's actually fine. That thing dies to Evankar's Justice like everybody else. Pretty intense. I mean, I don't even think I need to counter anything. Everything's going to get swept up by double justice, so. Yep, that's fine too. You know you're in a good spot when nothing your opponent does matters or makes you feel uncomfortable or scared in any way. This is fine. And again, he's just burning down his clock, so. O-Ring is a bit of a concern, but we have this backup win con and Evankar's Justice is just pretty disgusting. There's a chance I maybe didn't want that to resolve, but it only buys him one additional turn. So it's not even that big of a deal. I think this is okay. I'm pretty sure we can still do it twice. Two, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So he only bought himself one more turn by doing that. We have 14 cards, so gonna forever 23. we're not gonna lose any life total. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 3 plus 4. And I will, of course, bounce the Radiant Fountain here. Is that 2? Yeah, it's fine. I was going to just do it, but we might as well just leave up Deprive. It really doesn't matter. Firebolt me, okay. He's really just wasting his own clock. 15. 11. 8. I'll go back up to 10. I'll go back up to 12. And this should be game. Cool. So that was amazing. That went very well for us. We had so many resources that we didn't even need to keep the 4th AK. We just put it on the bottom. So let's go to the board. Not a lot needs to change here. I mean, you could argue that nothing needs to change. Crypt Incursion was pretty good there, but not necessary. I mean, well, he did get us back down to 8. Without the Crypt Incursion, that might have actually been a problem. I think we want a second curse. He's got some enchantment removal, and this is kind of my preferred way to beat them in other decks, my other blue decks too. So it seems like it's going to work out here. All this removal seems fine. This seems fine. I mean, honestly, yeah, I kind of forgot how I boarded before, but we can cut a number of these counter spells. The main threats they have are creatures, and as you saw that game, once we're able to essentially counter most of their creatures or kill them, they don't have a lot of play left. We could play Deep Analysis to keep up with his card advantage. Yeah, I think it's a little better than Dispel. Yeah, this looks fine. We've got 2 counter spells, 2 Hydroblast, and Crypt Incursion to fight off his burn. This is mostly for Cold Oath the Rebirth, though. Okay, yeah, I like this. I think this. I don't think we can go too wrong with that configuration. And we'll keep this a little slow, but we can stop an early Glint Hawk. And we can draw a bunch of cards eventually. The number of tapped lands is not exciting, but looks like we might be set up for a turn 3 curse. He's going to get a fixer. Prism, probably. Wellspring. Okay, I'm actually going to leave up Counterspell to stop a Cold Oath of Rebirth. This looks like that's the trajectory we're on here. And we should pull pretty far ahead if we get this second AK going. Yep. I'm going to end up casting AK now. And then I'll disfigure on my turn. Just want to see more options here. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Tragic Slip we can pair with either Devour Flesh or the Evoke. Yeah, this is pretty gross. I mean, whoops. I think he's sitting on Pyroblast. I am going to try for the Curse though, because I have Counterspell backup. I am lagging a little bit. I apologize, guys. Oh, no, it just immediately resolves. So I guess maybe he's got O-Ring. Sanctifiers, yeah, he's got that too. He's missing his blue source. Yep, that's going to resolve. I have a Devour Flesh to take it out. This just works very well with Crypt Incursion. There's a lot of synergy here. This can get the Crypt Incursion. This can make it better. Yeah, so I don't think there's any reason not to cast this. I don't think he can save his guy in any way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do Teachings. Get my second and final Counterspell. There's the Pyroblast. So Curse has already milled out 2 answers to Curse, which is kind of funny. Yep. It's a self-protecting card because it mills out all their answers to it. That's so annoying when you're on the other end of that, by the way. When you have an answer to this, but it's inherent milling. Oh, he's casting Curse on me? That's kind of shocking. Luckily, I have the answer. That's actually a pretty potent card against us, because we'd probably still win, but I think I'm going to counter it anyway. There's his blue. We know we're going to be able to Mull Drifter. Yeah, I'm just going to cast Mull Drifter. Classic turn 7 play. Hit all your land drops like a boss and cast Mull Drifter with Counterspell backup. It works every time, guys. It's it's a real high skill intensive play. When you become a master, you too will be able to make this kind of a play. So fear not. Okay, he's going to Bojuka Bog my Teachings and my AKs, which is, a little bit annoying for sure. So I think I ought to counter this now that the Teachings is gone. We also have nearly a 4-minute time advantage, which we're certainly happy about. Okay, he is cursing me, but he's a little bit behind in the milling race. And his milling us actually helps, though it makes the AK worse. I'm going to cycle first. He doesn't seem to have an answer to Mull Drifter either. Preordain, hopefully find our second curse. I'll take a Vendetta. Here, this is what I'll do. I'll leave up the chance to AK into something. And of course we'll attack. So we're just a little bit ahead in terms of milling, but it's very close. Okay. Is he going to bounce Bajuka Bog? Probably not. I think he's just going to draw. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Okay. I wouldn't Hydroblast that even if that is on the top of our library, so that's why I did not use the AK. Oh, what do you know? That's quite a draw. We're going to 22, but no matter. I mean, I guess if he had Pyroblast, he would use it. There goes one of our best and brightest in Evankar's Justice. Yeah, he would use it by now, so there's a Hydroblast. Very nice. And we don't need these. I'm just going to wait. Hydroblast backup is a little more valuable than getting Curse a turn early. Yeah, whatever this is going to resolve. Could have countered it, but it's just not relevant. Yeah, that's fine. It's likely the card he drew. Okay, and Mystical Teachings. So let's just do this. We're looking quite good now. I don't even need to cast the Teachings. I can just leave up the Hydroblast backup. We kind of don't need to do anything. Just sit on this. This is 5 cards a turn now, so he's on a 6-turn clock. Again, 4 cards milling out with the Curse. We got both. We have his 2nd and 3rd Pyroblast with those mills. And then the card he draws is the 5th one. So, yeah, this is pretty over, I would say. We don't need to use Deep Analysis either. We can use that to target him, make him draw 4 cards. We also have Crypt Incursion as an option. He's just not drawing cards, which is, I don't think we need to do anything. Oh, wait. Oh, man, that was clutch. I'm not going to Teachings, but I do want to get the Talisman. So, yeah, we can do this. Again, I don't actually think we need to do anything. I don't think he has a, again, I don't think he has a chance this game either. Now that there goes O-Ring, just constantly milling out answers. And the reason I'm not casting Teachings is it takes cards out of my library, which right now is kind of the strongest resource. So is that 9 cards? So if I deep analysis him this turn, it should be over. What was this? Course Sanctifiers. We have no more counters left. So that's actually going to resolve. Then if he tries to bounce it, I guess I have a Doomblade that I can get. But it looks like he's not going to try and bounce it. So casting Deep Analysis against him this turn. Oh, there's a Doomblade. Yeah, maybe I should have grabbed it. Casting Deep Analysis against him this turn is not going to exactly do what we want, so just wait. He's still on a 3-turn clock here. Did we get all the Skyfishers? Maybe we did. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe we did. I mean, at this point, even if he does kill the curse, kind of doesn't matter. Okay, so we can kill him next turn. Deep Analysis makes him draw 4. He can't burn us from 30 with 7 cards, even if they all dealt 4. I guess we're going to 29, then we're going to back up to 31, then we're going to 28. Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah, this will be enough. We can actually... No, we have to do it twice, which is fine. So the classic Deep Analysis kill strikes again. Okay, now we just pass. Guess I didn't factor in the Radiant Fountain gaining us 2. Yeah, do your worst. Yup. He's going out in a blaze of glory. So it looks like we got another match. Good for us. Yeah, I don't think we really got much. We got half of our investment back. So didn't break even. This like I said, this is the worst league I've done so far, 2-3. But we learned a lot. I think reviewing these matches will definitely help me improve my play and improve my familiarity with this list and learn about how I should tweak it, what type of matchups I need to inspect further, more closely, and in order to try and give this deck a better position. I think we lost against Elves, which seems winnable, seems about even. They can have busted draws that win, but we have a lot of sweepers and removal that can hopefully stop them. Burn seems slightly unfavorable, but there's definitely things we can add to the 75 to increase that matchup. And then Delver, did we play Delver? I can't remember what round 4 was. It's escaping me at the moment off the top of my head. It might have been Delver. I can't remember. But it was another deck that we're used to seeing, so I'm going to have to definitely analyze that and identify it, let alone figure out how to improve it. So I hope this has at least been entertaining, fun to watch, giving you some food for thought. And I want to thank you very much for tuning in to this installment of Dime